Hey, Nikki Sanders here. Welcome back to the More Than Social Work with Nikki Sanders YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. And today we are going to talk about money, salaries. I always say social workers do not take a vow of poverty. And this is your reminder that your social work skills are highly transferable, high income skills. So if you are trying to reach that six-figure mark, stay tuned. I'm going to give you 5 job titles where social workers can make at least 6 figures. Now, before we get started, here is the disclaimer. Of course, this depends on the company, your location, your skill set. And this is not an exhaustive list. There are other ways that social workers can make at least 6 figures or at least $100,000. I'm just giving you an example of 5. You're going to have to do your own research. If you're in a rural area versus a big city, your salary may be different. But in general, here are 5 job titles that social workers can make at least $100,000 salary. So we're going to start with a social work administrator. The National Association of Social Workers lists it as social work administration and management. This was my path to a 6-figure position, being in leadership in a nonprofit organization. Most times when we think about administrator, we think about an executive director, but depending on the organization or the size of the organization, there are other leaders in that organization that may also be making a 6-figure salary. So what you need to be a social work administrator, of course, is understanding of social work ethics and values, human behavior, leadership and management, vision, goal setting, being able to lead people down a path to success. So you can make 6 figures as a social worker, as an administrator. So you can start your research there. Number 2 is a CEO or Chief Executive Officer. So very similar to executive director, but most times when we talk about a CEO, we're talking about a larger nonprofit. We're talking about someone who maybe doesn't have a social work or human behavior background, or we're talking about a large company or corporation, not necessarily a nonprofit organization, but that can be the case in a nonprofit organization as well. And we've seen the shift from executive to director to CEO in the last few years, but that's that role. And so that requires vision, leadership, organization, planning, structure, coordination. Like, you are the visionary and you are getting the people on the bus to achieve that mission and vision. So administrator and CEO are the first 2 leadership roles where social workers can make $100,000. The third is in the federal government, right? So in the federal government, becoming a federal employee, and there are tons of federal agencies. Of course, again, the salaries may differ in individual agencies, but 5 agencies specifically I recommend social workers take a look at: Health and Human Services, United States Agency for International Development, Department of Education, Housing and Urban Development, and the United States Department of Agriculture, just to name a few. And again, you have to do your research. I have a video on jobs in the federal government, so you can check out that video after you view this one. But there are branch managers, there are department heads, there are so many jobs, program managers, program directors, so many jobs in the federal government where your social work skills are a value. So administrator, CEO, federal employee, and the benefits in the federal government are good too. All right, number 4, corporate social responsibility. And right now we're calling that more like social impact. So it can be everything from donations and volunteer programs to employee engagement opportunities where you're donating your time, or your employers are donating their time or money, right? So corporate social responsibility, social workers are amazing at that because we're already coordinating people. We understand community and connection. We are out here looking at needs and saying, here is how we can meet these needs in a very unique way. And so the business has an idea or responsibility to give back to society. And think about this. nowadays, employees as well as customers want to support businesses and organizations, or work for businesses and organizations that have a responsibility to the community and respect the community and want to give back. So giving back, paying it forward, making sure that we are supporting people outside of ourselves. So that social impact world is perfect for social workers. And again, partnership development, right? Social workers are great at coordination, partnership development, and coming into the end of the year, this is a great time. We're looking at end of the year appeals and all of those things. Social workers are great at all of that. So the recap: administrator, CEO, federal employee, corporate social responsibility. And corporate social work is a thing. So know that organizations, corporations are looking to hire social workers, and there is a lot of buzz around corporate social work. The third is human resources. And when I say human resources, I'm talking about the people, the employees. So that can be DEI, not just traditional human resources. We think about talent management. We think about training and development, corporate culture, employee assistance programs. All of those things are amazing for social workers who understand human behavior, who understand connection, who understand how to support people in different phases of life that are good or maybe a little bit challenging. So as a social worker, those 5 areas are areas that you can have a 6-figure salary. You can make $100,000 as a social worker, as an administrator, as a chief executive officer, in the federal government, as a federal employee, in corporate social responsibility or corporate social work, and in human resources. Remember, you have to do your research. That is a social work skill, right? Research coordination is a social work skill. So use your social work skills in order to find the organizations and the businesses that are offering these salaries, because I promise you they are out there. I was able to cross the 6-figure mark as a social work administrator in a not so big nonprofit. I also removed myself from candidacy in a nonprofit that was offering a 6-figure salary, and that was my personal choice. But again, the work is out there, and that position happened to be around data and evaluation, something that social workers know a lot about. So it's time for you to do your research. Get on and get online, do your research. Remember those 5. Also remember, social workers do not take a vow of poverty, and your social work skills are highly transferable, high income skills. You have the education, the experience, and the expertise. You have to learn how to leverage your degree and your work experience. If that is something that you need help or support with, definitely reach out to me. We can do a strategy session. We can do a power hour session. I have very specific career coaching packages depending on where you are in your social work career. But you get to define social work career success on your own terms. And if that is something that I can support you with, head on over to my website or drop me a line in the comment section, and I can reach out to you and we can discuss ways that we can work together. So thanks for joining me here. It's time for you to cross that 6-figure mark, and I'll see you back for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.